In Parshas Eikev, the very, very wonderful Sefer Megala Amukos brings down a pasuk from the Zohar. The Zohar quotes a pasuk from Malachi, which says, "Lirei Hashem u'lechoshvei shmoi," that all cheshbonos in the world, we know that everything in Olam Hazeh is temporary, is gashmius, is our way to fulfill mitzvos. But those things which we consider important, inviolate, black and white, and hard, really are not. They really are not. Everything that we see here is part of the temporary nature of Olam Hazeh. One of the aspects of Olam Hazeh which we feel are inviolate is math. Math. 2 + 2 is 4. Math is black and white. You don't cut corners. You can't do anything with it. And in fact, cheshbonos are important. But Megala Amukos makes the point from the Zohar, from this pasuk, l'choshvei shmoi, that all cheshbonos are nothing except for one thing. All of the manifestations and permutations of the Shem Hashem. As we know from many Mefarshim, all of the Torah, every pasuk in the Torah is a permutation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name. And the Megala Amukos brings a fascinating raya. The word cheshbon, which means math, means how to calculate, is 366. And the term Shem Havaya is 366. If you go for Gematrios, that's good. If you don't go for Gematrios, it's okay. It's a sefer called Ahavas Torah, which brings down the words of the Megala Amukos, as quoted in the sefer Eitz HaPleis Torah, which he says that Megala Amukos' words made such an impression on me that I wanted to understand, and I wanted to do a cheshbon myself, this Sefer Ahavas Torah. He says, the person who wrote this Sefer is the Goyen Rav Pinchas Zalman Segal, who lived in Poland. He was born in Krakow in the year Tafresh, and he gives a little bit more of a bio of who this person is, because Ahavas Torah, not a Sefer is not a Sefer well known. And he says, I got power, I got nafshi oiz, he gave me koyach. I wanted to know how many times is the name Havaya, Kadosh Baruch Hu's Shem Havaya, Yud Kei Vav Kei, mentioned in the Torah. So what did he do? He sat down from Bereshis till Zos HaBracha, and he counted all the Yud Kei Vav Keis in the Torah, came up to a number which nobody knows. I've asked this of a number of people since I read this, and not one person even came close. The answer is 1820, 1820. He then asked a very fascinating question. Which parsha in the Torah has a Shem Havaya more often than any other parsha? So far, my batting average is 100%. No one has gotten the answer right. Not one person. I've asked some pretty choshev people, I'm not going to mention names, as to which parsha they think has the most Shems of Havaya of any other parsha. And he goes through it a little bit interesting. He says in Parshas Bereshis, it's 36. In Noach, it's 14. The answer is this week's parsha, Parshas Eikev, which has 93. That's just an interesting aside. You don't have to know it, but it's an interesting ha'ara that one should know, that one should at least have heard of. I am Kanai Nahar, 77 years old. I never heard of this. All of you who are a bit younger than me now have the zchus to have heard it a little bit younger in age. Now, another sefer of repute, which I use all the time, which you know, is a sefer Apirion from Shlomo Gansfried. And in our parsha, there's a pasuk discussing many aspects of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's dealings with us. In Parshas Eikev, Perek Zayin, Pasuk Tezvav, V'hisir Hashem mimcha kol choli, v'chol madvei Mitzrayim haroim asher yadata lo yisinam bach, u'nisanam b'chol sonecha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I will take away all of the machlos of the world, I'll take them away from you, and I'll give them to your enemies. Now, the Sefer Apirion makes quite a sharp insight into the seemingly mundane phrase. There are two Lashonos here, Sima and Nesina. And he jumps on that immediately. And he says, to my humble opinion, Sima is something that's only temporary. And the Kavana is that it should not stay there forever. Okay, and he brings it down from other Mefarshim as proof for that. Parshas Re'eh, it says, Pasuk Hey, when you get to Eretz Yisrael, you have to destroy all of the getches. We had this recently in Daf Yomi. in order to erase HaKadosh Baruch Hu's name. I've already mentioned in one of my previous sessions that there was a cover of one of the medical journals, which was in honor of Yom HaRoim, as I recall, that picture of Aron Kodesh. And of course, on the top of it, it says, Shivisi Hashem Lenegdi Somed Yud Kei Vav Kei, on the cover of a medical journal, which is going to get thrown out. So I penned off immediately a letter to the journal saying, if anyone wants, I'll be happy to collect them for you and put them into Shemos, because it's Hashem's name and should not be discarded. I got about a few people sent them over to me to save Hashem's name, because it says, that's the source of not being Ma'abed Hashem's shame. Famous pasuk. But what does it say there? So the Kliyakar says immediately, right here, that's called Mishkan Shiloh. Not talking about the Beis Mikdash, which we hope eventually will become permanent. That also wasn't permanent because of our Averas. But the fact of the matter is, it's talking about Mishkan Shiloh in this pasuk, not about the Beis Mikdash. That's the other proof of the Sima is temporary. Okay? Other places where it uses the term Sima also proves that this is only for an ace, only for a certain temporary time. However, Nesina is forever. That is permanent. Let him keep all the ramachlos, let him keep all the klalos. The proof is there's proof in Shema that we say, Kadosh Baruch Hu promises that there will always be those requirements that we have for our existence, our very existence. Nesinas Torah, Matan Torah. There's so many rayas to what he's saying here that it seems so obvious to us. Why didn't I think of that before? And I never did, but now I do. So we have to give something, by the way, in a negative way, v'nosan get. When you're giving a get, v'nosan biyado, a get is permanent. A get is permanent. It's a complete hefker, it's a break from being nesuin to nothing. So that's also a premise. It's a proof in a negative way, but still brings the same point across. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us things, we should appreciate that is forever, that is permanent. And means Hashem should continue to give us bracha v'aslocha in everything that we do. We should hear only besaris toivas. Hashem should send Yeshuas and Nechamos, and Bezus Hashem, Bias Kol Tzedek B'mher V'meinu. Amen.
He's just saying about that the difference between Nesina and Sima is that Nesina is permanent and Sima is not.
That's correct.
That's the whole Torah. Okay.
That's the Torah. But did you know that?
No.
Okay, now you do. Why is Eikev, which is this week's, why is Eikev B'dafka the one with most of Hashem's names? And I said to myself, that's a really good question. He doesn't say why. But I thought about it. It's designed in Nechemta. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is showering us with his name of Rachamim in these days when we're trying to bring ourselves back from Tisha B'Av. Zayin the Nechemta, this is exactly where it belongs. Yud Kei Vav Kei, the name of Rachamim. Hashem is showing us, I'm giving you my name. Use it, use it, use it. Hear it, hear it, hear it. Say it. Utilize it to its fullest capacity. I thought that was he didn't have that in a sefer. I thought of that myself. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. That's my own little Baal Batisha take on it. But I listen to everybody's opinion, including my own. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm not. I try to do things al pi derech haTorah. Goodbye.